All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. So this was the scene a moment ago. The Cardinals emerging from their tunnel, and we are ready for football as the Cards get set to match up with Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. First and 10. Here's Carr. Caught by Nelson. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. The first carry for DeAndre Washington. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
On first down, Carr. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up second and 10. Play action. Now it's Carr. He's going to fire one deep over the... This is caught at the 20. And he takes it down deep into Arizona territory. A big play there. Carr to Cooper. 44 yards. The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. They have a first and 10 at the 13-yard line. Carr gives it off to Washington. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to second and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Now Carr throwing on second down. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Marshawn Lynch, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Robert Kimdichie, we've heard about him since high school. How about that total package of power, speed, and agility?
Yeah, he was widely thought of as the best high school product his senior year, wasn't he?
Yeah, and Ole Miss was really happy to get him. And how about that play he just did there? Welcome to the NFL, young man.
So a nice drive on the road. You come in, you take the ball down, you get 3 points.
Yeah, points are a must on an opening drive, right? So they moved it down efficiently, got it done. I think that bodes well for their chances moving forward in this one.
A big welcome back carry for David Johnson, who almost missed all of last year. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
On 2nd down, here's Rosen. Dumping it off for Johnson. And some room to work. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 30 yards there.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 49-yard line. Now Rosen. Caught right side. Gresham. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Johnson on the counter. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. From midfield now, here's Rosen underneath for Johnson. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January, but if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in, so a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Here we go.
On second down, here's Carr. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and they're going to have a third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Shotgun now for Carr. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. A Raider first down as Carr finds Cooper.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
On first, here's Washington. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. The tackle made there by Dayon Buchanan.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Carr to throw on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's going to have to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Carr. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney.
After the interception, here's Rosen. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Gilchrist. And he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this first quarter. Now after the INT, it's Carr. And hauling it in, Nelson. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Carr going to throw. And Cook has it left side. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. 23 yards on the play.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
First down, the run with Lynch. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On second down, Washington. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
They'll run it. Here's Lynch. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. They'll run for it with Lynch. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. DeAndre Washington, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows to 10-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Bruce Irvin in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Here's Rosen to throw. Completes it to Fitzgerald. And down he'll go at the 25. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On third down, Rosen. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's going to be out of bounds at the 39. That one good for 13 and a Raider 1st down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense, because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Carr now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider 1st down.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good gain before he's taken down. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
To throw on 2nd down, Carr. Bryant with a catch right side. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. His first catch, good for 9 and a 1st down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it, because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on it. Really well done.
Carr gives to Marshawn. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. More from the desert after this. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Carr. And he's going to go down here. A sack. They push him back to the 34. Robert Kimdichie coming up the middle. Gets him there for a loss of about 9. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Carr. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the veteran Antoine Bethea. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Rosen on 1st and 10. His throw incomplete. The linebacker, Derek Johnson, there in coverage.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Rosen finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. This is Johnson, he's got it. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Throwing now, Rosen on 1st down. Looking for Fitzgerald, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. This one caught left side by Cooper. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. So 2nd in inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. From the gun, Carr. Caught by Nelson left side. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 1st down Raiders, the former Packer Jordy Nelson on the receiving end from Carr. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
On 1st down, Carr. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Now Carr. It's hauled in by Lee Smith. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. He hit his first, this one from 38. The kick by Pinheiro is good. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. On second down, here's Rosen. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. The Cardinals on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Rosen. Buying time to his left. And avoids the contact by sliding. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
Now a play fake here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 42-yard line.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Now a handoff. Johnson. Down here with a penalty flag on the field. Justin Pugh, the left guard that time with a flag. And now it's Rosen looking. And Gresham's got it over the middle. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target.
Leopard! Leopard!
Rosen now off the bootleg. Completing it to the right side. Johnson busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line.
Brandon, more and more offenses are going to the philosophy of using every inch of the field to try and spread things out. And when you're running back and catch the ball as well, that can only help your offense.
The Cardinals on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Rosen just getting the snap off and 1. Underneath for Johnson. Still going. They can't stop him. And he's going to go out of bounds. He takes this one down shy of the 20. And give him 12 yards and a first down. Rosen off the play action. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The Cardinals on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now Rosen looking to throw. Dumping it off for Johnson. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And Hauschka's kick is good. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, Parker, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything. Pressure comes and the Cardinals bring him down. Chandler Jones in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Carr on the give. It's Washington. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. Give the tackle to Hassan Reddick.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
An extra DB added here for the Cards on third.
Blitzer play coverage.
Shotgun now for Carr. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And it's knocked away and incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better, 2 weeks in a row? You have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
It's taken to the 26. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They go play action here on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. Rosen will throw. It's caught. Nelson. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory as they're down to the 29-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. Down to about the 22 here. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Rosen to throw on 2nd down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. 4-time Pro Bowler Derek Johnson. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 11. Here's Rosen to throw. And he's got Fitzgerald. And down inside the 15 he goes. And that one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's Cardinal football, but they trail here as we get set to bring you the 4th and final quarter.
Leopard! No, check! Patriot! All right, now, lucky 56.
On second down, Rosen. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath. Nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. Third down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Here's Johnson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
And Hauschka's kick is good. And they will cut the lead back down to a touchdown now at 13-6. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
On the give, this is Washington. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Carr to throw on 2nd down. And this is a rocket pulled in by Cooper, complete. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 36. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain down to about the 33. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Washington on 3rd and short. A pickup of 5 that time and a first down. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
Now on first down, it's Washington again. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up the screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
The Raiders on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This time it's 3rd and 3. A handoff for Washington. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. On 1st and goal, Washington. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
On 2nd down, here's Carr. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Here is Lynch on 3rd and goal. A good job there defensively to stop him for a gain of just 4, and that'll bring up 4th and goal.
This offense bent the defense in their long drive downfield, but once they got within sight of the goal line, the defense went to don't break mode and is stiffened.
The kick by Pinheiro is good. And that one makes this a 10-point game at 16-6. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And they will have the football deep in enemy territory all the way at the 10-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. Carr, the quick slant caught, and he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They come out here in the eye. On 3rd down, they go Lynch. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Marshawn Lynch, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. So out now come the Cardinals. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it down and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. Again, it's Johnson. And he stopped immediately there. The linebacker, Derek Johnson, in on the stop. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And he's got some space here. Johnson jostles free. David Johnson on his way. And he'll be down deep into Oakland territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So he nearly took it the distance, gets him down inside the 10 for a 1st and goal.
I'd love to be in his head right now, because is he rewarding himself for a great run, or is he kicking himself because he didn't get all the way to the goal line?
3 red zone trips have yielded just 2 field goals for them to this point, so they'll be searching for something more on 2nd and goal here. They run with Logan. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here, because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And he'll take this one down inside the 5 to the 3. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball.
And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals get a bit closer.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Nifty move. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. Defensively, there's still 3 timeouts. Do you even need to use them at this point?
I think a lot of coaches do it anyway, and it seems like cosmetics to us.
Does it just send a message you're not quitting?
Send a message that you're not quitting. Let your team know you're going to battle all the way. And you're always hoping for that ultimate miracle that something will happen. You'll pick up the ball and score, and you'll have a chance one more time and maybe on an onside kick, but not likely.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Raiders, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Meanwhile, for Arizona, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they will try to turn it around next week as they head down to Carson for a matchup with the LA Chargers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Stand and look in the mirror, how could you face that? Mask on, don't even know where my face at.